Welcome back, Shark Kings. It's that time of the month again where we go into collections, go down and see which games are actually leaving PlayStation Plus Extra on the last chance to play list. Let's check them out. So the big announcement here is Dying Light 2, Stay Human. And the other games, some of them were predicted. We have Remnant 2, Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII Reunion, Mountain Blade 2, Bannerlord, Vampire the Masquerade, Swansong, and for premium, we have Job Simulator. If you watched our prediction video from 2 weeks ago, we were right on these three, so we only got half of them. We got Remnant 2, Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII, and Mountain Blade Bannerlord. All three of the predicted games were introduced to PS Plus Extra 1 year ago, in July of 2024. So the games from that month, they're right here. This is July 2024 games. We had Remnant 2, Crisis Core, and Bannerlord. So those three games are leaving, which were predicted in that video. What I didn't cover were the premium games. And if you go down right to the bottom, you'll see for PlayStation Premium, Job Simulator was there. I did not include this in this video because my channel focuses on PS Plus Extra mainly. The big news this month is Dying Light 2, Stay Human. Why is that one leaving? Because this one was introduced in PS Plus Extra in November. Wait a minute, this isn't even 6 months because Grand Theft Auto left last month. So is this 7 months? That's a really weird contract term. We've never had this before. We usually get 1 year or 2 year contracts, sometimes even 6 month contracts like Grand Theft Auto 5 and Red Dead 2, but never have we ever gotten like 7 or 8 month contracts. That's really weird for Dying Light 2 Stay Human. So I definitely did not predict that one. And the other really weird one here is this one, Vampire the Masquerade Swansong. This was also not introduced at Extra 1 year ago, 2 years ago, or 6 months ago. It actually came to PS Plus Extra in January of 2024. What is going on here? So if we scroll to the PlayStation blog in January of 2024, this is the month we got Resident Evil 2 and Heartspace Shipbreaker, which both left in January of 2025. So if we scroll farther down, you can see it's right here. Vampire the Masquerade Swansong. So this was introduced in January. That is really strange. How many months is that? So that is like a year and a half. That's really weird. We've never had that before. We've had 6 months before. We've had 1 year, 2 year before, but we've never had a year and a half. That is really weird. So that is why these two games were not predicted. So again, to compare it to a prediction video that we released 2 weeks ago, Remnant 2, Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII Reunion, and Mountain Blade Bannerlord. These three were predicted in the video. So if you started on these games because of that prediction video, I hope the 2 week advance notice helped you tackle these, because these can be long games. Now, I take blame for Job Simulator. That's a deluxe or premium game, so I didn't cover it when I really should have. So I should have predicted this one. But these two, there's no way I would have predicted because they are so random. Dying Light 2 was from November of 2024, and Vampire the Masquerade was from January of 2024. We've never seen that here before. What a weird game to leave. Now let's get on to the gameplay if you're not familiar with any of these games. Since Mountain Blade 2, Crisis Core, and Remnant 2 were covered in the prediction video, go watch that video to see what the visuals look like and what the gameplay is like. What we're going to do next is we're going to cover the games that we didn't talk about at all, and that's Dying Light 2. If you like spreadsheets as much as I do, I went through the entire catalog of PS Plus Extra games, wrote down their ratings, their runtime, and I even color-coded them. So if you're a member of this channel, enjoy the new look, and remember that yellow means last chance to play. To become a member, just hit the join button right beside the subscribe button. This huge list is available for Tier 2 members. Now let's see some gameplay. Dying Light 2 is what you would get if you mixed Mirror's Edge with Dead Island and Skyrim at night. The first-person parkour is the standout feature here. Fluid rooftop chases, wall running, and vaulting across crumbling buildings. It's like Mirror's Edge. The traversal is not just flashy, it's strategic. The verticality of the world really matters here, especially at night when the ground level becomes a death trap. It's very similar to Dead Island. You got the heavy melee combat, weapon crafting, and satisfying gore. You're constantly managing stamina, weapon durability, and crowd control, but it's less gun heavy than most zombie games. The world is also split into factions-controlled zones comes with unlockable safe houses, outposts, and tower-like structures that affect gameplay. As far as Far Cry goes, you got the side quest sandbox-style gameplay with parkour instead of grappling up cliffs. So if you're into fetch quests, you got some of that here too. So let's go back to the night and day. During the day, the infected are slow, and you could go in there and tear them up like Dead Island. But at nighttime, they flood the streets. So night exploration turns into a full horror game. You get better rewards, but there's more danger. It's not just a lighting filter, it's a real gameplay shift. You can play stealthily, aggressive, cooperative, or just screw around in the sandbox mode. You want to lure zombies into a faction camp and watch the chaos unfold? You totally can. The weapons themselves feel weighty. Like every swing, kick, and drop kick feels chunky. Weapons do degrade and must be crafted or repaired, adding stakes, pun intended, to every night. No other zombie game moves like this. The parkour is fluid, fast, and fun. You'll find yourself climbing everything just because you can. And like mentioned, this has co-op. Up to 4 players can play the whole campaign together. So if you like the exploration of Far Cry, the traversal of Mirror Edge, the RPG of Fallout, and the survival tension in The Last of Us, Dying Light 2 might be the perfect middle ground game for you. Dying Light 2 takes about 24.5 hours to beat, and if you want to get the platinum, forget about it. It takes over 100 hours. You don't have enough time to do that in 1 month. And no, that's not a challenge. Don't try it. As far as Metacritic rating goes, Dying Light 2 Stay Human has a Metacritic rating of 76 and a user score of 7.2. Vampire the Masquerade Swansong is a narrative-focused RPG. So this is probably why you don't see any combat in this gameplay trailer. It seems like the whole game is just cinematic trailers. What's going on? Yes, there is no combat. It's a narrative-focused RPG that blends detective work, social manipulation, and character-driven choices instead of action. The game focuses on investigation, skill-based role-playing, and dialogue duels. You play as 3 different vampires, and you switch between them across the chapters. Each vampire has their own ability, personality, and stake, pun intended, in the political plot. Think point-and-click adventure meets immersive sim light. You find passcodes, hidden files, security camera footage, that kind of stuff. Most of the action happens in conversation. You don't just pick dialogue options, you have to spend your skill points in order to lie, intimidate, deduce, and convince. You can fail these and the choices stick, and consequences will cascade. Like mentioned, each vampire has stats like rhetoric, deduction, psychology, and technology, and these open up new dialogue paths or investigation options. Using the powers will cost you willpower and hunger, so there's a balance. You feed too much and you risk breaking the masquerade, which can lose the game. There's no game overs, but you can fail the objective, lose characters, or alter the ending significantly based on your performance and choices. So as far as replayability goes, the multiple endings will bring some people back. So similar games are like in a very lightweight Disco Elysium because it's heavy on dialogue and stats-driven interactions, and very lightly Detroit Become Human, I guess, because there's multiple characters, branching outcomes, and the character fates vary wildly. Very interesting game, but not everyone's cup of tea. It's not really about fast reflexes here, it's about reading the room, using your powers subtly, and staying one step ahead in a secret society of monsters. Vampire the Masquerade Swansong will take about 16 hours or 30 hours if you want to platinum it. If you're not interested in this game, this is going to make you even less interested. The Metacritic rating was only a 66, with an average user score of 3.7. Ouch. So for premium members, we do have Job Simulator. I'm not going to show you what the gameplay is like. I don't have VR, but you know what to expect. What I will talk about is these other 3 games. We got Remnant 2, Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core, and Mountain Blade 2 Bannerlord. Now again, I did talk about these games in the prediction video, and I don't want to repeat myself. I could easily put each 5-minute trailer in this video and really pad the video length, but just go watch that video instead to see what the gameplay is like for these games and what to expect. So click that video right here and skip to those chapters to save both you and me some time. So I hope you enjoyed the prediction video and the actual list of the games that are leaving. So if you did enjoy the prediction video, you got yourself a 2-week head start on these 3 games. So until next time, be a friend and I'll see you again.